Josh Green here for Tungsten Tales. Delighted to be joined by WDF #1 Brian Raman. Brian, thank you very much for joining me on your birthday. Really appreciate it. How are you?
Yeah, great. You?
Very
I'm doing very well.
Very well. Thank you very much. It's been a good few weeks for you on the WDF circuit. I know you had some success out in Denmark. I know you played pairs and you played obviously in the singles events as well. You've been playing very well on the WDF circuit as of late.
Yes, I can't complain about what's going on the WDF system. I'm really enjoying every minute of it. The last couple of events I went to, the earliest exit I got was quarterfinal, so I'm really happy with that.
How are you finding it getting back to darts after so long out? I'm not sure what the situation is in Belgium right now, but I know getting back to darts has been big for lots of players over here.
Yeah, in Belgium it's now back to normal. Well, kind of back to normal. We don't need to wear face masks, no social distancing, nothing like that. So it's pretty much back to normal. So it's really nice to play tournaments again, and yeah, I'm enjoying every weekend. So it's just nice to meet everyone. I met a lot of new people on the online tournaments as well. So it's nice to meet them at local tournaments or WDF tournaments.
Were you one of the players that participated in lots of the online tournaments through lockdown? Because lots of players seem to do well out of them.
I used to play a lot of online tournaments, but then I lost a few times because I caught them cheating. And then they always said, no, it's not true. It's not true. And then, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm not going to play online anymore because I don't want this kind of situations anymore. So I only played on Dartstream Live. That's from Australia. They did the Smashdowns with Ben Hunter always looking at the board. So that's the only thing I did at the end of the lockdown.
And just going back to Denmark, just tell us, for people that didn't see, what the setup was like over there and the standard, because we haven't seen WDF darts like that for so long. Just give us an idea of what it was like at the tournament.
Yeah, Denmark is always a nice tournament. It's the second time now I went to Denmark, and I really liked it the first time. I really liked it this time as well. It's a nice setup that they do. It's just a nice atmosphere that they have. Yeah, and about playing, you always have good local players that are never going to travel around the world, but they are really good. Like I had to play a Swedish guy, Ricky Norman. He played the final on the Sunday event, and he played really well. I had to play him in my board final on Saturday. So it's always nice to meet new players that are playing really well, and then you have a chat after the game. So that's always nice.
And obviously you had some success over in England as well, at the England Open national singles finalist and a winner on the following day. That's got you into a position of the #1 seed. Well, it's looking like you'll be the #1 seed at the World Championships as it is. That's a fantastic position to be in.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, I went to England just to get a few more points because I didn't know to what tournaments I would travel in the future to get myself qualified for Lakeside. So the main goal was to get to the points, to get far enough in the tournaments to reach some points, and then I qualified for the semifinal on Friday. So I made a little post on Facebook, and everyone said, "Oh, well done, well done." And then on Saturday, it was like, "Oh, Brian, you reached the semifinal again." And I was like, "Ah, okay." So I made a new post, and then I saw on Twitter someone tweeting, "Yeah, if Brian reaches the final of the two events or win one of the two events, he's a new world #1." I was like, "Oh, wow, I've never been in this position before." So it was really special for me. And then to win the England Open, to become the world #1, that was amazing.
Does it feel like quite a big moment in your career? I know you're still so young in your career, but to reach that at just 25 years of age, there's not many players that have been able to do that.
Well, to be honest, WDF is not what it's used to be. So I think it's a bit easier to be the world number one now, but yeah, it's always nice to be the world number one on one of the things you do. So even if you're just playing um, like a card game or something and you're the world number one, it's always nice. Even if there's only 5 people playing it in around the world, it's always good to be the number one in something. So I'm really happy to be the world number one. I hope I can be the world number one at Lakeside as well. To be seeded world number one. So yeah, there's still a lot of tournaments to go. So we'll see how far I get.
Mm-hmm. And last time we saw you on TV, I believe, was at the Indigo at the then BDO World Darts Championships. What did you learn from that game at Paul Hogan against Paul Hogan that you'll be taking into this year's World Championship?
Well, I didn't play poor or something against Paul. He just took everything out what was in front of him. He took 2 massive finishes that took the game to his side. But what I learned a lot about that game is I was never nervous before I went to a stage before. That was the first time that I was really nervous to go up to a stage. So I hope I will not be that nervous anymore when I go to Lakeside because I have more experience now. That was the main thing about my game. Every time when I get back up to the stage, the first set, then the third set after the first set after the break, I always felt really nervous. So that's why I got really slow into my game, and that's what cost me the game.
And Lakeside is such an iconic venue in the amateur game. How excited are you to get up on that stage and play at one of the iconic venues in the sport?
Yeah, it's amazing to play at Lakeside because when I was younger, I was always looking with my dad to the darts on TV, and it was always Lakeside where you see Barney playing Jelle Klaassen in the final, or where you see Christian Kist winning, Mark Webster winning. So it was always like, oh, I want to be up there because I didn't know about PDC before Kim Huybrechts went to the PDC from Belgium. So I never knew about PDC darts. So yeah, WDF or BDO in the time was always the main goal to reach.
I mean, for you, where did your darts journey begin? When did you know that you wanted to be in this position playing darts at a high level?
It was always a bit of a dream, but I never took it serious until I made a switch from youth player to senior player. Because yeah, a lot of people told me, Brian, you can better quit playing darts because you're not good enough. You better can stop. You better stop because you will never get what you want. So that yeah, I set some goals to myself. I separate myself from the darting world for more than half a year, practicing 8 hours a day, and I came back and I won a big local tournament in the Netherlands with a lot of big names. And from that moment on, I was like, okay, yeah, I can do something in this sport, and that's when I decided to go further in the darting world.
You say about that 6 months away, was that just purely for you to focus on your darts career and get that practice, and you knew when you would come back you'd be a much better player than before that 6 months of practice?
Yeah, it was really a bit for myself because yeah, it hurted me that people said that I wasn't good enough to reach my goals. So yeah, that's what put me back on my place, and then I was like, okay, I have to do something about this. So the only thing I can do is practice more and practice more. So that's what I did, and I came back much stronger.
And just talking of darting heroes, you briefly mentioned Kim Huybrechts there, who's one of the most recognisable names from Belgium in terms of darts, but Dimitri van den Bergh has had a lot of success in recent years, and there's a lot of other Belgian players that I could mention. Who are your darting heroes as such?
Well, Kim's brother is definitely one of them, Ronnie Huybrechts, because he talked with my dad to get me into the national ranking tournaments from Belgium to get into the Belgium squad to play the Euro Cups and World Cups. So he's the main man on playing tournaments now. Yeah, Dimitri, of course, because I practice a lot with him. And yeah, I played in the same team with Kim Huybrechts when I was younger as well. So that are the 3 big names for me that yeah, made me love the dart sport.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time, Brian. Really, really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be seeing you at Lakeside in a couple of months' time. Really appreciate it.
No worries. It was a pleasure to meet you, man.